and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for French Monsieur and Accident.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Chicago?
What up, what up? It's good to see you gentlemen and the wonderful ladies in the back keeping us together.
So look, alright. I don't know if y'all were in the room earlier, but again, raise your hand if you guys are interested in designing shoes. Right? So it tells a lot of people, right? But the thing is, I want during this conversation, I want us to discuss number one, your stories of how you guys started, but also how we can, as young black men, do the same thing. Because you can speak on this, but I'm sure you don't see many people who look like you guys in the industry. Is that true?
Absolutely. It's an industry with not a lot of us. So we'll tell you some stories on how we got into it and what we're doing today.
So let's start off with that. How did you guys get interested in even designing shoes? How did you get into the industry?
Well, honestly, it's like everything has been interesting for me. I feel like it's all been like this build up, these breadcrumbs in my life. And I've been doing, I think a few people said they designed on 2K, right? That's how I started. I didn't have any programs. I was making jerseys and everything, NCAA football to NBA Live when that was popping. So these are my tools that I was doing and to get me interested in what I'm doing now.
And for me, I mean, I'm originally from Miami, Florida, from Little Haiti. If you know anything about that, it's a rough place to grow up. And I got into design almost by mistake. For me, you know, I never had much money growing up. And I don't say that as a sob story, but more to explain. I had to get creative with the ways that I express myself. So I used to, you know, cut out toys and draw the toys I couldn't afford, draw them, not even knowing that it was drawn, but I was become later an artist and a designer, but cut them out and play with those. And I think one day I kind of fell into design in and around the movie Space Jam came out, not the LeBron James one, the first one with Mike. The first one with Mike, and I was obsessed with it. So there was this kid, like there is always a kid in every school that gets all the toys, and he had this giant book. And one day during recess, I took the book and started drawing pictures from the book, took it home, drew some more pages, and then put it back in his book bag. And the funny story about that is I got caught putting the book in there, and the teacher opened it up and saw that I drew the pages, and instead of giving me detention, she threw me into art class. So she said, "You're an artist," and that's how I kind of discovered art.
So beautiful. Again, this industry, like I mentioned earlier, we don't see too many people like us. So what has your experience been being a black man in not only the creative industry, but specifically shoe design industry, as well as some companies that you worked out at? What has your experience been like?
Well, our history has been at Reebok, been at Puma, and being part of Me and France, going back to even college. We've been working on projects and being able to see what me, France, and a couple of my friends did in college, and being able to translate that into products that we're actually doing and projects that we're actually seeing. We have to stick together because, again, it's not a lot of us. It'll be like 4 of us, and the rest is, you know what it is. And I think the thing about that is just special that we always get to create in a space and have this creative freedom that has been limited or not even been shown to us. So I think I've now been taking advantage of that with me and my homies.
And for me, really, you know, in this industry, like you said, you don't see a lot of us, so you sort of have to claw and scratch for the spaces to really get your voice heard and your creativity seen. So yeah, me and Aston go way back. We went to school in Detroit, Michigan, actually, a design school where we got a lot of the foundational skills that we then used in some of these bigger brands. And for us, it was really carving out those spaces and really forcing people to hear us and see us, and do it in a loud way so that they say, hey man, these guys know what they're talking about.
So, all right, you guys mentioned
You should have gave some shout out to the school.
you have all these design projects, but now you're working with Kyrie at Hammond.
Yes, sir.
How did that come to be? Like, what was that relationship like? How'd you connect with them? And what's it like working with Kyrie for real?
You know, it was, I want to say maybe a year ago.
Yeah, there you go.
But you know, we saw what was going on, and we don't want to drudge that up. But we saw what was going on in the media and stuff, and we saw that he had an itch, and you know, we sort of reached out, and he responded, you know, and we started conversations, and he was talking about how he was ready to really create his legacy and be heard, not only to be the legendary basketball player that he is, but he wanted people to see who he was and the message that he had to put out there. And we heard that, and we said, hey, come with us, and we're gonna help that come together.
Yeah, because the previous brand he was with, and like so many other athletes that's there, they don't have a voice. When they get there, oh yeah, when they get there, your shoe is already made. They don't listen to you. Your logo already done. The graphics, no input in it. So they take, you say, Nike say, hey, you want to be with us because we're number one. So they have the leverage, and Kyrie got stuck in that. He was like, nah, I want a bigger message. I want a bigger platform. And who I was going into Nike is not the same person he is that's came out.
Right.
So when he met us, a team full of a lot of the black designers, a lot of people that can do the same things that Nike produces, it's just everybody needs a platform to do it. So we both came together understanding that we can grow on this platform at Anta.
Kyrie's the perfect example of going somewhere where you're appreciated, not tolerated. That's right. Sometimes you just gotta remove yourself from an environment where people, they don't necessarily care, but they don't really care that much.
Right.
And so now that you're part of the team, you're working on the designing. Talk to us about the design process, and I know you guys might have a video on that, but talk to us about that design process as well as, what's your mindset when going into creating your shoes?
Yeah, well, I mean, really, it starts with a spark, an idea. I mean, a lot of the times when you go to, different brands, they have something called a brief, and that's basically what they give you is it's almost like an outline of maybe holes that they see in the market that you might want to attack. Or a lot of the times you say, hey, this is sort of what we're thinking, and how do we put that into reality, right? Whether it's a basketball shoe, whether it's a skate shoe, whether it's something more lifestyle or performance related. That's a lot of the times where it starts. And then from that, we have something called the ideation process, where you have sketching, you have rendering. We're basically throwing around ideas. We're figuring out, how can we create a unique look from the brand perspective, but also capture the needs. Whether it's a performance shoe, you gotta be able to highlight those needs that you need for a basketball shoe, for instance. Or if it's a lifestyle shoe, what are some of the trends, what are some of the fashion elements, things you might be seeing on a runway that can help inspire how an idea can come to life. After that, it's usually taking a few designs into finalization. So a lot of the times you do something called a blueprint or a tech pack, and if you've ever seen one of these things, it looks a little bit like an architectural draft or something with a bunch of lines and numbers, and basically tells factories and people that help develop, how to put the shoe or the product together. But for us, I think an interesting tool that we use that a lot of other brands don't is we're now in the 3D space. So we use VR, and we use, people usually play video games in the VR headset, the Oculus or whatever, the PS5.
Anybody here ever use a VR AR headset before?
Yeah. So you can design in that too. Not only play games, but you can design. So I'll talk a little bit about the design process here.
We dim the lights a little bit, please.